I sold puts and I bought some calls. So I just sold a credit spread. I think the stock market's trying to set me up. Well, maybe I'm just paranoid. YouTube. YouTube. What it do? It's your boy Little Petty checking in with you guys for another stock market episode. And in today's episode, as you guys can see, we have my YouTube page up, but we're going to jump over here into the stock market trading account, and we're going to give you guys an update on what we did today in the stock market, and we're going to go over some of the plays, the executions, and we are going to talk stocks because that's what we do on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are new, make sure you sit back, stay tuned, subscribe if you're new, sit back, and we gonna burn through. So today in the stock market, as you guys probably can see, we got the Tesla chart up. Tesla has been our go-to trade. Make sure you guys go back and check out my old YouTube videos where I'm talking about selling put options, selling credit spreads for income, and that's what the strategy has been. I'm gonna give you guys an update of what's going on right now, though, because right now I do have my tiny small account challenge, and I do want to talk about what's going on in here. As you guys can see, we're up about $96 on the day trading. Yes, Little Petty has been making the day trades. So let's talk about the day trades. Let's talk about executions, and that's what we're going to go over. We'll talk about the credit spreads, and as you guys all know, my two small accounts, which is the Tasty Works, and now we have this small account, which I started with $100. It's almost up to $300. So we're going to be going over this because I feel like this could show you guys some value, and we could talk about the technicals. So first off, let's go ahead and jump into the Tesla chart, and let's talk about the option that I traded today. Let me show you right here. So we had bought the let me zoom this out so you guys can get a see. So you guys see right there, we bought the 950 put. We made about $65 on it today. And if you guys look right here on the executions, so we ended up buying it, a market order. We marketed in at 641 and we sold at 705 for basically a $75 gain. Now, if you see, when we were trying to market in when we were trying to order in earlier, we were trying to get it for $1.04, but we had to just mark it in just to get in. So let me show you guys what we were looking at, and also we'll talk about how we closed out the Tesla trade this morning. So we had the 3 contracts. We closed those out for a profit about $350. We bought the contracts. We bought those contracts a week ago, and we bought those 3 at about $1.40. So we made about $110 on each trade, on each contract. So that's about $300 for the week of the weekend premium crush. Make sure you guys go check out this video right here. Weekend premium crush selling options. I talked about the Tesla trade, but let's talk about the day trade today. So let's go over here and get into the Tesla chart, and we can jump right in onto this 5-minute candles. So this morning we seen the gap up. The my bad, let me zoom out real quick. Let me pull this down because I don't use none of that shit. Don't use the RSIs. We might look at the RSIs on the longer time frame just to see how far extended or something, but over that we don't trade off RSI. We trade off the chart and our trend lines. So this morning, as last night, the stock had dropped down. My contracts are in the money, so that's not good. They finally got out the money. We had that nice break yesterday. So as this morning, when the stock was gapping up, I'm like, okay, we're gonna sell out of our put contracts, and I'm looking to actually take a short depending on what happens. So as you guys know, we jumped in at 41. We got in on this candle right here. This candle right here, as the stock started coming down, I said, yep, we're gonna jump in bearish, and we ended up locking in the contracts at this stop right here. Now I wanted to write it down a little bit lower, but the contracts are volatile, so let's see if we can actually go into and see the chain and show you guys right here. So ended up buying this 950 So right here, I'm gonna zoom in real quick. So as a stock right here, it opened up at about 50. It shot all the way up to $4. I ended up locking it in on this candle right here as it started to pull back a little bit. So I wanted to take the gains because this is a smaller account. You guys can see that we have about 298 bucks in here. So I wanted to take the quick scalp trade. We locked that in. I didn't want to hold depending on if the stock was going to drop. But as you guys can see, we got majority of the way out of the trade. Not the whole big move, but we got a nice play out of it for using such small capital on a trade on Tesla. So that was the first trade. Let's go over here, and we talked about all of my trades in here. So we bought a naked, and then we stopped out of our Roku trade. So we took a small loss on that, and we took a loss on our Boeing trade. So the weekend premium crush, we basically, I would say we broke even on the week for that because the other trades that we took, those basically canceled out for the win of Tesla. But it could have been worse, so just take that with a grain of salt. Now we ended up buying, I want to show you guys right here. So the Twilio play, because this is what set the day off. So let's jump into the Twilio chart. And I'm gonna keep this video short. I feel like it's already gonna be a rant, but I'm gonna get into the details and show you guys what I was looking at. So we seen the drop on Tesla. We locked in those gains. We went over here to Walmart. We're gonna show you guys the Twilio in a second. We went over here to Walmart. Now, as the stock market was rising, or as the stock market was collapsing, Walmart was running up. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a short on Walmart. We grabbed a short at the top, and we ended up closing it below VWAP. So that was the play right there. I could have held it. I was a little skeptical, but let's go and show you guys the Walmart. So we had the 120s, and as you can see right now, that's my bad. So the 120s right now are worth $1.17, and we bought the Walmarts at 35 cents, and we sold them for 45 cents. So that was a quick $10 trade. And as you can see, we got a nice little play out of that. But as you can see, the overall trade, it went a lot higher. So when the stock had dropped, it dropped down to about right here. We ended up executing the trade, and we sold it on the first nice pop. So we took our profits on that. And then the Twilio trade. Now this was the big trade, and we ended up missing this. So you can see right here on the Twilio, we got canceled right here on all three of these right here. So the first trade was at 702. We were trying to get a fill at 67. The stock jumped up. We only had about $75, and then we missed what put was this? The 215 put. So the 215 put at 702. Let's go into that chart. So Twilio, I've been following this stock for a while. The stock moves up and down, so I'm getting familiar with how it moves. Now we were looking in this candle right here, the 7 o'clock candle, the 705. This is when we were looking to go short. So when we couldn't get executed, I had to just let the stock drop. So now let's go look at what that option did, because that option it made a nice move, and I alerted people in my chat, but I wasn't able to take the trade because of the capital requirement in my small account. So we were trying to get filled in this candle right here, and then you can see that the option went all the way up to about $3. So I probably would have closed it out for about $2, knowing me how I trade. So when the stock was breaking down through this low right here, I would have got out. I wouldn't have held it all the way after this second pop because it could have reversed. So I would have got out on this candle or this candle while holding that play, but we missed that play. And we did end up taking a nice trade on Twilio from here to here. So as the contracts are decaying because it's Friday, we ended up getting a nice little play out of Twilio. And we'll go ahead and talk about that real quick. So as you can see, we bought the 220 call, and we bought this and made a $23 profit. So right here, Twilio, we bought it for 34. We sold it for 57. We bought it at 924 and sold it at 1008. So that's basically I'm gonna give you guys that small recap of what's going on into the baby small account. So we're slowly growing this account. I'm gonna probably fund, I would say $500 into here, so I can actually take a few more than just 2-3 trades a day, because as you can see, I'm missing trades just because of like 20-30 bucks. So I want to be able to have a little bit more capital to actually execute on some of these small scalp trades that I've been doing. Now, for the weekend premium crush, what we have set up right now, we did take a trade on Twilio. I'm very bullish on Twilio, so let's talk about that. I'm gonna show you what I see on this. So when we go out to the 3 days, as you can see, this stock is just basically on an uptrend. We had a small fake out to the downside pop. Now we're in this trading range. These are my levels, 209 and 218, 203. So I'm seeing that it's holding these levels. We got a high up here, so that's what this dotted line is from the high over there. So we're holding this. You see these wick candles coming down. Now the stock market, we are approaching a high. SPY does look like it's about to roll over. I'm gonna go ahead and still roll with the punches. I'm long. I'm bullish on Twilio stock. I'm going with what the chart says. The chart says we're going higher, so I sold some put credit spreads. I sold 3 contracts of the 215s, and we got a credit of TWLO. We got a credit of 107 and 118, and you can see we sold 3 total contracts. They expire next week, so that means Twilio needs to be above 215 for the rest of next week for those contracts to decay. Now, drum roll please for the Tesla trade. So the Tesla trade that we got set up this week, we're selling the 950s and we're selling the 940s. So we got 2 different credits. We are selling 4 total contracts. So this is a big position. As you guys can see, the cash balance is only at $373. So if the stock market does gap down and we have a hard sell-off next week, expect this count to be hit bad. But if the stock market continues this slow dip buy opportunity, Tesla stock stays strong, then we're gonna make a nice bag on this trade. So as you can see, the total collateral that we have is $650 on Tesla, and we have about $300 and something on Twilio along holding a debit spread. So let's go and jump into the Tesla chart real quick. And as I said into my Twitter, I talked about this one. I said this one is a very risky trade. The 950s and the 945s for a total credit of 184. This one is very risky. So if you guys want to make sure you guys follow my Twitter, make sure you guys follow it. Links in the descriptions. Now let's get into the chart on Tesla and see what we are looking at. So when I'm making my trades, I'm liking to look at the daily chart, the hour chart, the 4-hour chart. Now, what I'm seeing on this setup is almost the same thing with Twilio. As you can see, we're still on the strong uptrend. There's no clear signs of a rollover. We're above both the moving averages. We're holding this trend line back from the 14th. We bounced off of it twice. Now, we could see a rollover. I'm not saying that it's not possible. So when I look at the 1-hour chart, as you can see, we are starting to roll over. We might get another bearish cross, but the reason I'm taking this trade is because I haven't lost yet on Tesla. Now, I'm not saying I'm not ever going to lose on Tesla, but I haven't lost yet. So the time decay, everything goes in. That's why I'm taking this trade, and that's why I said that trade was risky. Now, I'm a little bit more settled on the 940s and 935s. So if you come over here, and if you wanted to set this up right now, you would be able to get a credit of 172. But if you wanted to be really safe, I would sell the 920s and 950s. I would actually sell farther out. I would sell the 915s and the 910s. So that would be the safe play. You can still get a credit of 110, but your risk will be 390. I wanted to move in closer for the chance, because we have pulled back, the chance for the pop, and the chance for the more premium crush. So that is basically it for this video, YouTube. I wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on in the stock market. As you guys can see today, SPY is rolling over. If you come to the 1-day chart and look at the famous 1226 cross, it looks like we're finally about to roll over since we got the cross back in March from the pandemic crash. So as you can see, we are tightening up. We are under both the moving averages. We finally have a cross, but we need to see what's going to happen really over the weekend to get the confirmation. Because right now, say if the stock was just to rip up, because we still have another 2 hours in the stock market, then this moving average is a delay. So wait for the confirmation. If you want to go short, you can hold short positions really above 310. I would stop out above 310. If you look at the weekly chart though, you can see we're on a clear uptrend. So maybe a pullback to 288 and then it's a pop. So maybe in the next few weeks we do come down. I'm still betting that the markets are going to be a little strong and try to fight this, try to fight these levels. And that is what I am looking at for the stock market coming into July of 2020. Thank you for watching, and if you guys watched this far, I appreciate it. And Little Petty is